The U.S. Postal Service is under attack from those who advocate consolidating postal services or closing them altogether. Recently, Postmaster General Patrick Donahoe announced that 82 postal facilities are slated to be shut down. Closings and consolidations are part of a scheme to privatize the public postal service. Often these actions are taken to streamline and save money, but postal management fails to account for the real costs or the loss of service and revenue.
They're trying to close the Norfolk facility, move all the mail processing almost 90 miles away to a Richmond facility, causing the employees at that plant to have to be relocated to other jobs, but also adversely affecting the community because now that very letter that used to be processed in Norfolk will have to drive at least 90 miles by truck, one way to be processed, 90 miles back to Norfolk so that it can be delivered. And so the effect that it has on our customer service, the effect that it has on every resident of the Hampton Roads area, it would be very adverse to our economy, and many other factors that will be very negative for that whole Hampton Roads area if this mail processing facility is consolidated or closed down, shrunk down to such a small number of employees that everything will be shifted to Richmond for processing.
A lot of people really take pride in their jobs, and they're upset when the mail is delayed. And the drivers that I talked to after we had consolidation into our plant, they'd say it's terrible that they haven't figured this out. There are long lines of trucks coming in from all over converging at the same time. Express mail is delayed. They talk about piles of express sacks just sitting there until after cutoff, the truck leaves for the airport or wherever, and express mail is missed. And this is all because consolidation is just trying to do too much, cram too much mail into facilities that don't have the capacity.
Sometimes communities are pitted against each other as they try to save their post offices.
Our facility's been through this process at least 3 times. The first time was when they took our postmark away. We lost our postmark to Tampa. The problem that you run into is that you find yourself in the uncomfortable position of arguing the closure of another plant. And that becomes a problem because we have plants that are within proximity of each other saying, well, you should close that plant as opposed to closing ours.
The APWU has developed a toolkit to help local unions stop any further consolidations and closings, restore service standards, and even reopen processing plants and post offices that should never have been closed. A key part is developing alliances with others in the labor movement and with local communities.
We're going to be prepared. We're going to get our locals out there, getting their coalitions built, and hopefully bring that power of the people to the public, to the media, to our legislative people so that we can get some protection.
First challenge is to get people involved in fighting consolidation, because some people have a hard time in understanding it's actually going to happen to them, and they hope it won't, and they figure if they just keep doing their job, the threat will go away. But it's actually happened in many places in the country, and it's going to happen to more people, and we need to get people to, first of all, understand it's going to hit them, and even more importantly, that they have the power to change that they need to get involved, and they need to work on trying to stop plant consolidation. Get support from a wide base of allies, to get your community groups involved, the local labor council, and when you have a coalition, then you can make some noise, you can go to the congressional offices, and it's really important to get the legislators involved because they have political power, and when you have political power and when you have senators or congressional representatives who are advocating for you, then the Postal Service really sits up and takes notice.
We're going to use the energy and the same approach we got to Staples. We're going to put this in here, and we're going to try to keep this from happening plant by plant everywhere in this country, and the more coordinated we are, and I really make an appeal to the gaining facilities to step up and fight this thing too and not say, geez, I'm okay, I'm going to get more members. That's the divide and conquer strategy that the post office wants. They had different stand-up talks to the workers in the places that are losing and the workers in the places that are gaining. And the truth is, in the plants we're gaining, we're still losing, because the post office is being undermined and being dismantled and is going to go down. So we need the same fight everywhere Don't let us be divided by the Postal Service and their tactics. If the service goes down, the customers leave, it goes down more, revenue goes, and this is that spiral down that we will not be able to survive if it keeps happening.